YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Antha Barber coming back at you with another haircut tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be doing a low skin fade with a disconnected top. Alright, so since this is going to be a disconnect, I'm going to go ahead and begin by separating the top. So I'm going to use a little bit of water to gain some control over his hair. And I'm going to use duct clips to separate what I want to keep from what I want to cut. Alright, so I wanted to mention something right here because I feel like this is key to anybody's man bun. So my client doesn't look like he has a man bun yet, but he is transitioning into that. And so this step right here I feel like is extremely important. How many times have you guys cut a client that he wasn't your regular and he had a man bun, and then you're in there cleaning up another barber's work and you notice that the section of their man bun is completely off and sloppy? And so to avoid that, I'm just making sure and reassuring that his sectioning is nice and clean, so when he does transition into that man bun, it looks as it should. So now that I have everything sectioned off, I'm going to come in with my ANDIS cordless masters with the number 2 guard with the lever open, and I'm using a comb right now. And what I'm doing with that comb and my clipper is I'm creating somewhat of a shape. And the reason why I'm choosing to do this step now is because I'm really trying to avoid rounding off this fade, because I feel like it won't complement my client's head shape. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna knock everything down right below that shape that I just created. So now I know that my blend's gonna go into a number 2 open. And the reason why I chose to set it right where I did, because I'm not gonna keep the bulk that you see. But like I said, I'm trying to avoid it rounding off, and right there in front, my client has a really good size indentation. And if I bring that blend anywhere above that, it's gonna give it that rounded off shape whether I want it or not. So to avoid that, I'm creating the shape that I am now with the clipper and the comb, just to make sure that I'm able to give him that somewhat of a box shape to complement his haircut. Alright, so now that I created the shape that I was looking for and I removed that bulk, I'm going to come in with my WAHL cordless detailer LI, and I'm going to begin to set and create my first guideline, which is going to be my bald guide. I am going to keep everything low, and I'm not necessarily going to drop this in the back, but I am looking to complement my client's head shape, and so I'm going to keep everything consistent on both sides and meet up in the back. Alright, so now that my bald guideline was created, I'm going to come in with my BABYLISS Foil FX02, and I'm going to completely bald out that guide. However, I am going to use that flick out motion towards the top because I want to demonstrate a clean transition from completely bald to stubble, because later that's going to help my blend pop. Now that my bald guideline set in, I'm going to come in with my ANDIS cordless masters with the lever fully open, and I'm going to begin to set and create my next guideline. Once my guideline is created with the lever fully open, you'll see that I'll close my lever and begin to blend from the bottom of that guide right back up towards the top of that guide. But little by little, as I work my way up, I'll slightly open my lever. And every time I do that and work my way up, you're gonna notice that that guide's moving up with me. But that's okay, because that's exactly what I'm looking for. By the time I get towards the top of this guide and my lever's fully extended, it'll be completely blended out. Alright, so now that I have that blended out, I'm going to come in with my ANDIS #1 guard with the lever fully open, and I'm going to begin to set and create my next guideline. I'm going to give myself the same amount of space that I gave myself with the previous guide, that way I keep everything consistent with this blend. Once my guide's created with the lever fully open, you'll see that I'll close my lever and I'll begin to blend from the bottom of that guide right back up towards the top of that guide, right to underneath where I just left off with that lever fully open. And just like the wall guard system, I noticed that this step tends to leave a little weight behind, so I'll show you how to remove that in the next step. So something I've been doing differently with my haircut tutorials, and I'm not sure if you guys have noticed or not, but I've been allowing them to run in real time. So if that's something that you guys are enjoying, smash that like button right now and get active in that comment section below and let me know. Alright, so now I'm going to remove that weight that one closed left. So I'm going to use my ANDIS 0 guard, and I'm going to come in with the lever fully open, and I'm going to begin to attack right above the weight that I see. Again, that's right above the weight that I see, and I'm going to remove that using that fade down process. So I'm going to close my lever as needed, working my way down until that's completely blended out. So every time I use this clipper with these guards, I can't help but to think about Kobe Bryant. So I just want to say that my prayers and my thoughts are with his family and everybody else's family that lost their life that day. Alright, so now that my blend's starting to come together, I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into clipper over comb to remove the remaining bulk that's here. Like I said in the beginning of this, I'm not looking to keep bulk in this area. I'm just looking to avoid, right where the comb is, he has a really good size indentation on both sides of his head. So I'm really trying to avoid that rounded off look. So to do that, I've been very cautious with the shape that I created in the beginning, and I'm going to continue to be cautious using my clipper over comb because I still can mess it up. But again, I'm using this step right here to avoid giving that rounded off look. Shout out to my boy Tito Beats for this fire that you hear in your ear. I'm going to make sure to drop a link in the description. Make sure you go check him out. So right where the comb's at right now, you could see that my client has another indentation where his head shapes in. And so I just want to point out how key clipper over comb can be, because in this case, it's really allowing me to create a shape and an illusion that my client has a really nice rounded off head when clearly he doesn't. So that's just something to keep in mind, that clipper over comb isn't really just about knocking off bulk or saving time. Sometimes it's about saving lives. Hey, bars. Alright, so now that my clipper over comb basically finished off my step work, I'm now going to detail and cross check my blend. So I'm going to use that fade down process to do so. And I'm going to start by coming in with my ANDIS dual magnetic 1.5 guard with the lever fully open. And again, I'm going to use that fade down process. So I'm going to close my lever as needed, working my way down until it starts to blend out. I'm going to continue to do that with the 1.5 guard, the 1 guard, and the 0 guard, and the no guard if needed, until I get everything blended out and to pop as it should. Alright, so now that I fully detailed around my whole client's head, even though I only showed you one side, I did the whole head. Now I'm going to begin to do his lineup. And we could all see that my client doesn't have necessarily the strongest of lineups. He doesn't have a horrible lineup. He just has one of those type of lineups that you do have to create somewhat of a shape. and you have to do somewhat of a pushback. And anytime you take anybody from their natural lineup, I feel like it's a pushback, and that doesn't necessarily have to be a horrible word. There are ways that we can create what our clients are looking for without taking them way back, but still pushing them, but still pushing them back. And so that's what I'm doing in this case, and I'm just trying to make sure that I get everything clean. So now that I got everything shaped where I want, cleaned up with the straight razor, here's a look at the final cut. If you got anything useful out this, I ask that you smash that like button. If you're new to my channel, I suggest you stick around. It's only gonna get doper from here. I appreciate y'all. Be blessed and be a blessing. I'm out.